Release your earthly dad from responsibility. Release him from responsibility. You know, when you're under his roof, or if you're 15, 16 in here right now and you're under your dad's roof, you're still under his responsibility, but you don't have to be under his emotional responsibility if he's an unhealthy dad. What do I mean by that? While we recognize the power of our dad on our lives, we also need to appropriately get out from under their power. And when we're bitter towards our dad and we're just still upset that he left us, we're basically putting ourselves back under his roof. He's still controlling us. He's still setting the rules for how we're supposed to operate. Get out from under his responsibility. Recognize he's out of power, but it's time to move on. And how is it we move on? We move on because we forgive. We forgive. We choose to go a different place and choose to go a different way. Jesus talks about forgiveness a lot. And it's because our Heavenly Dad has a value of forgiveness. So if we want to be like our Heavenly Dad, we've got to have his character qualities, which include forgiveness. And he also talks about forgiveness so much because all of us are hurting and broken in some ways, and all of us need to practice forgiveness. And the people back then didn't like it any more than we do. I know some of us right now are like, I'm not going to forgive my dad. I am not. You have no idea what happened to me. He keeps doing it. We're all people in all time periods are resistant to forgive, and this is why so many of us are lacking joy. We're lacking connection. We're lacking peace. So Jesus talked about a long time and a lot of times. The Apostle Peter struggled with this once, and here's what it says in Matthew 18. Peter came up to him and said, Lord, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? As many as 7 times? And Jesus said to him, I do not say to you 7 times, but 77 times. 7 times. Peter thinks he's being pretty impressive. Hey, should I forgive somebody up to 7 times? No, 77 times. In reality, I bet most of us in here can't remember somebody apologizing to us 7 times in our life. This is why it seems like a big deal to Peter. Like 7 times? I tell you, most of us don't offer forgiveness very often because we keep expecting somebody else to come and apologize. Somebody come and say, I was wrong. Would you please help me? Please forgive me. It's easy to forgive that way. Unfortunately, that just doesn't happen. Partially because people who've hurt us, they don't even know. And if they do know, they don't even care. They're on to other things. And so we're waiting for them to do that, and yet we can't because they're not asking for forgiveness. And yet Jesus says do it 539 times, 77 times 7. How can that be? It's because it's a different kind of forgiveness. It's not the kind that we're waiting for. It's the kind that we intentionally practice. It's the kind of releasing things. Jesus, or in this text, in the original language, it says ephemi. Jesus says if you forgive, or ephemi. Ephemi means you let it go, as Rambo said. Let it go. You let it go. You let it drip off of you. You release it. You choose not to hold on to it any longer. I'm not denying that those words have stung and those words have hurt. I'm not denying that it's easy to just get over it. I'm not at all. I'm saying, though, for us to have joy and for us to connect with our Heavenly Dad, our anger is only hurting us. Our bitterness is only coming back to wound us. And so whatever it takes for you to figure out how to shake it off, how to release it, which is forgiving it, need to do that.